What's up, family? It's a new month. Welcome to Sunday Signal, where we talk about what happened as far as on Friday, as far as a recap, and then we're going to touch on the opportunities that we have for next week and just look at the overall market and see what the market is doing. Like I always say, make sure that you plan your trades and trade your plan. That's one of the things that you have to do over the weekend. You have to be prepared to get into the market on Monday, not 9 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up, you're rushing to the computer, and 9:15 you're hitting it just to go in and trade. You have to make sure that you're looking at your setup, see what's going on, what's the news that's taking place as far as next week. So without further ado, my name is George. Welcome to George Trades. This is not financial advice by any means, but it's what my thoughts are and what we're doing. And I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the screen. So what we're looking at right now is just opportunities for next week, but we want to see what's going to go on as far as news. So a little quiet for the most part, couple days throughout this week. So we have a couple news that's not impactful. That's going to be on Monday. Tuesday, we have a couple news that's coming in on Tuesday as well. These will impact the market as far as ISM. Those will impact the news. Jolt's job openings, those will impact the news. So we're going to see some volatility in the market on Tuesday morning. So if anything, if you want to wait till after news at 10 o'clock to trade, then by all means you could do so. If you're getting in a trade before that, you want to make sure that you get in, get out based on circumstances, because you could be up, especially in options trade. News comes in, it goes against you, and now you're down. So be mindful when you're trading on Tuesday. Got a couple of volatility coming in that day. On Wednesday, we have news at 8:15. Have a few news coming in 9:30 as well, 10 o'clock, 10:30. So there's a couple news that's coming in. Not as impactful, right? Not as impactful as Tuesday. Thursday, we have unemployment. Like always, you're always going to have unemployment claims on Thursday. A couple other news coming in on Thursday. And then Friday is where we're going to have some type of volatility again with unemployment rate coming in. We have NFP coming in as well. So there's a couple things that's going to be, we're going to have to look at when you're talking about Friday. So this week should present some opportunity, if not a lot of opportunities coming into this week. Again, guys, if you want to trade with us, you can always jump in our Discord. Our Discord is free to join. If you want to join our live trading, you could also do so. You would have to upgrade to the VIP. Now, what did we do as far as Friday? Friday was pretty quick and simple. We were done within 10 minutes of the market. Before that first 15-minute candle ended, we were out of the market, and we just sit back and relax afterwards. The two trades we took AVGO for 80% right out the gate. Saw the continuation to the upside, so we took that to the upside and took our profits way before market, way before then. We was in and out, like I said, right at, if you look at the 5-minute candle, yeah, so right on this candle right here is where we took our profit. So saw the push up to the upside, and then we took this trade to the upside. Our trade, we was out of the market before 10, what is that, 940. We was done before 940. As far as that trade, we collected 80% on that trade. Really good setup on the day, just looking for continuation, but also saw setup on the 4-hour, which looks good for me. And then we took that trade. The next trade we took was Tesla. Told everyone as far as Tesla, you heard me talking about Tesla as well, as far as Tesla being bullish and where Tesla needs to go. So a break above that day, we took it as well. We took Tesla really quick into the day, right, on this 15-minute candle. Took 25% on it. It consolidated for the next, 15 minutes or so, but right out the gate, we took this trade. And within a couple of minutes, I would say, because once we broke, you're talking about a couple of minutes, we were up 25%, took our profit, and then we were done, right? But also, I saw the consolidation. I jump into some what you will call teaching at that point, because we were done before literally before 9:40. We was done trading with two profitable trades. I typically trade no more than 3 times for the day. So with that, guys, if I have 2 great trades out the bat, there's no sense of forcing it. Even though I saw the great setup on Tesla. Again, I told everyone in the group, I said, hey guys, we're going to test back day high and try to go back up to that 200 range, especially on the day. Like I said, right? So we are bullish on Tesla. Like I said, we're creating higher highs and higher lows right here. So we are bullish on Tesla to test that 408 back again. It's just a matter of time before we test there. If you're trading options, you just want to make sure that you have time on your contract. If we break below here, then we're creating lower highs, lower lows, and then the trend change, right? So if the trend change, that means that we're going back down to the downside. Now, guys, remember this is a new month. So with a new month becomes new opportunities. You have new candles that are starting over. You have all type of stuff that you have to look at. Plus, we're going into a new week tomorrow. So these are things that you have to look at, be prepared for going into tomorrow. Now, as far as what we're seeing, we have QQQ that's at all-time highs. I mean, QQQ is not stopping, right? It's not stopping. Like it's going, right? And we're at all-time highs. There's no reason for you to try to short at all-time highs because again, you don't know where QQQ is going to stop, right? There's nothing that says QQQ is going to stop apart from where we're now going to use cycle levels as areas where people will be taking profit. So as you could see, we have a little pushback, right? Or a little pullback from that 675 range. 675 is a cycle level, so we can pull back from that range and come back down, right? So right now we're down post market, or it looks like we're down a little bit, right? But you're talking about 675. We can pull back from there. We have gaps to fill on the downside. We have plenty of gaps to fill on the downside. But either way, we still can continue up. So the next level is going to be that 680, and you have to take it in increments. We're 680, 685, 690. But that general number of 700 eventually will hit, right? Will it hit this year? Will it hit next year? We don't know, but that's the next target as far as a cycle level on a higher level, right? We passed the 650 stage, we're at 675. So now that 700 is going to come in play, but we have different cycle levels along the way that we have to test. As you could see, we're testing that 675 right now and we're rejecting off of there. So we are bullish as far as QQQ, even though we saw Nvidia pulling back on the for the last couple of days. Now, as far as SPY broke out as well and is at all-time highs as well, but with a pullback. And as you can see, we hit that same level as far as 725, which is a cycle level, and then we pull back from there. So every time you're thinking about cycle level, especially if something is at all-time highs, you want to look at cycle levels as impactful, or cycle levels that we could see some type of rejection off of. So as you can see, we reject right off of that 725 area. 724, 87 was the high. So right at that 725 area, you're expecting people to take some type of profit. Profit was taken. We pull back a little bit as far as that. We can come down. Remember, this is the beginning of the new month. So with that, we can pull back. We gap up on the month, so we can pull back to close that gap. Pull in a little bit. We could pull all the way back down to VWAP. We could pull all the way back down and break the month low. Okay, what we have to do and anticipate is we have to play what the market gives us. We can't say, all right, we're at all-time highs, we're going to continue up, and then all of May we could drop all the way back down. June we could push back up and consolidate. July we could push back up and test all-time highs, and then August we could break through all-time highs and continue up. You have to play what the market is giving you at all times, and not just say, okay, we're at all-time highs, where it go, right? So that's one thing we have to look at. We right now on the monthly is red. So with that, for the monthly to become bullish again, we have to test that high that it created at 725, break that and continue up. So right now we're pulling back. How much can we pull back? We have no clue. We're just gonna look and see as far as how much can we pull back based on this. We have a lot of room to come back down, okay? You're talking about a lot of gaps, but also as far as a retracement level from the bottom of here to all the way at the top up here, you're talking a 50% retracement puts you right at close to this level where we gap up, where we created that gap to begin with. So nice level as far as 677, right? That 677 range as far as a 50% pullback on this run up. The sweet spot is right at 666. Don't like that number, but it's okay. But right there, that's pulling back all the way down to the 200, which is a good look as far as the 200 range. So Definitely we can pull back, but we definitely have to just see what the market is giving. Remember, news, all that stuff plays a part in it. And the market is very volatile based on what the president has to say, the events that's going on in the market. You have earnings season that's going on right now. Most of the Mag 7s as reported last week. So with that, you have volatility in the market. So as far as that, what we're looking at right now as well, you have Bitcoin, which is also testing or breaking out, right? When I was looking at it earlier, it was pushing up. Now it's pulling back. But on the monthly, am I on the right thing? Yeah. So on the monthly, we are looking for Bitcoin, right? Once Bitcoin break this monthly to push, then we will be bullish on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is hitting a resistance level, right? If you look left, what we're seeing, support, 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 resistance, resistance, and now we're hitting resistance again. So we could pull back, right? Pull back to the VWAP, right? Because the month just started. So we pull back to the VWAP for the first week or the first 2 weeks. Second, and the second 2 weeks, then we push into back up to highs and continue up. So you just have to play what the market is giving you. Like I said, it's a new month, so we can pull back, test this level, right? We're creating an uptrend where we have higher highs and higher lows, so we can pull back to come down, test this level, create a higher low. As long as we don't break this level, create a higher low, bounce back up and continue up. We need to come up here and test this 200 right at 83. But okay, with that. So now, as far as gold, right? So gold is one of them that you have to look at as well and see what gold is doing. Right now, gold consolidated for last month. Okay, so we consolidated all month last month. So we're looking at gold to make a move this month. Okay, so with that, we might consolidate for a little bit, but we're looking for a big move on gold to see where we're gonna go. Because we consolidate the month previous month, we're looking at some type of breakout. So a break above that uh, for that 4,900 level, or a break below that 4,500 level, and we will see some type of move to the upside or to the downside. So right now we're consolidating just 2 months in the market, guys, 2 days in the market, guys. So 2 trading days actually in the market. So we're going to see where we're gonna have some sideways movements maybe, but you're talking about come Friday or come Tuesday. Was it Tuesday that we had that news? Um, Come Tuesday, we have some news coming in, right? That can impact the market. But then you have Friday as well. So by Friday, can we see something to where we have a breakout with gold? We can, okay, based on what we're seeing right here with a lot of consolidation, we could see a breakout with gold. So we're gonna pay attention to gold as well. So now, as far as opportunity, guys, we talked about shop last week as far as for some opportunity is on shop, and shop definitely did its thing as far as breaking, right. I talked about shop to the downside last week, which it did play out. And if you notice, I had those gaps that I said we could test these gaps right down here, which it came down, test this gap, and bounce right back up. Now, because the market is bullish, we're seeing the same thing that's happening with shop as well. For shop, what are we seeing? We're seeing a bullish sentiment with shop, right? We had lower lows that's being created on the day, and we have lower highs that was being created on the day. But then we break out from that, so we created a higher high as far as for the daytime, and now we're creating this higher low on the daytime as well. So nice retracement right here. We have a higher high up here. So the thing that we're looking for now is a retest of this high right here. Okay, so for me, as far as a play into the week, and again, this is not financial advice, so make sure you do your own due diligence. But one of the things that I look at, I like the weekly setup on it. I like how we retraced, right? And if you look at the daily, how we retrace from here, you're talking about what? You're talking about a 618 retracement right at the sweet spot area, right? So that's a good level as far as where we bounce off of. Okay, so we retrace, we bounce, 618 is right here, so we bounce off that level. We held that level as far as support. So going into this week, we have a nice setup to the upside. So I would like to see a pullback, which right now we have that small pullback. I would like to see a pullback where we come back down to about that 25, which will be a psych level, and we use that 25 as a support level. Or even if we come down to VWAP, use VWAP as a support, bounce off of that, breaking into the highs of the week, and then we could look for potential of some targets to the upside. So we're talking about psych levels as far as 130. If we break above that 127 92 level, which is the high, we're going to look at 130 as the first target. But also we're going to target that high, right? That higher high that we've seen being created. We're going to target this higher high because we're in a bullish sentiment right now. So we're going to test this high coming up here and create possibly a new high. So again, when you're trading options, you have to make sure that you have time on your contract. That's one of the things. So guys, if you again want to come in and trade with us, you can also come in and trade with us. Me and my wife trade every single day from 9:30 to 11. That's when we trade, and we're always welcoming people. So one of the next things that we're looking at, I always say I like to give 3 opportunities going into the week, right? So what else we're looking at? We like Adobe, and with Adobe, just looking at setup wise for Adobe, Adobe consolidated all week. Last week we saw some consolidation. If you look at the day candle, there's a lot of consolidation right here. We broke out of that level. If you notice, I have my channel that's drawn right here. So I'm looking for Adobe to come up and test because we have a gap. If you notice, we have a gap right here that needs to be filled. We test that gap level and then rejected that area. So now we're going to, if we break this level right here, we're going to test that level again, even though that target is pretty close, right? You're talking about from 254. Yeah, so from 253.56 to that level is 256 ish, right? 256 ish. So like a 256.50. So like a $3 move on Adobe. But I'm looking for Adobe to go up to the top of the channel right here, right? So I'm looking for 260 as a target, 261, and then to close that gap eventually at 270. So I'm looking for that push on Adobe. So Adobe, as far as going into tomorrow, Adobe will be a possibility as far as a trade. You want to see a break above here, above the day, looking into that, and then you'll play that into the weekly, right? So if that breaks, which is the week high, you're looking into a break of the weekly. So you're looking at continuation at that point up to the top of your channel, which is a bullish channel right here. We have gaps that needs to be filled. That's the closest gap. So we know that we can test that bottom of the gap right there. And then we have the top of the gap to close. So those are the opportunities. So Adobe is like a 2-in-1, right? You have the day and then you have the week. One of the things you have to realize when you're trading, guys, is that it doesn't have to happen right away. So in a sense, even though the weekly could crack, it all depends on when it cracked. Because if it cracks tomorrow, then we could have a run up. We could have a strong run up, no hesitation, no look back. But one of the things you have to try to understand is fake out, because even though we have a push here the previous week, if you notice, it pushed up, but then what happened? It came right back down and then consolidate or did not continue that week. So you want to make sure that you're not getting faked out. You're looking at the right things as far as setups going into that day when you're talking about the trade. So guys, I always talk about no FOMO, right? Don't chase. If a trade is gone, it's gone. There's always opportunities that's going to present itself in the market. We have a boot camp that's coming up. If you're a beginner trader and this is like a little bit over your head, it's okay, right? It is okay. I'm not expecting you to know everything at once, but if you're interested in learning a lot more about options trading and just trading on a whole, we will be holding a boot camp on the 16th. We also have mentorship as well. We have a 6-week mentorship. So if you're interested in that, again, our link is going to be in the description. So with that, you could always come over and book a call for that as well. But again, if you're seasoned and you're already trading, you're looking for a community that, you just, sometimes it's get lonely. with trading up by yourself. But if you're looking for that, go ahead, jump in our Discord, and upgrade to VIP and come trade with us, right? We have a lot more opportunities as far as what we're looking at. This is just one of the opportunities there. I'll say two of the opportunities that's there. But there's always opportunities in the market, and there's a lot of money to go around for everyone to make money. So with that, guys, don't chase. Make sure you plan your trade and you trade your plan. Don't fall to FOMO. The fear of missing out is a killer to begin with, so you're not missing out on anything. Sometimes a good day is when you don't make a trade at all, okay? And you have to pay attention to that. If you don't trade for the day, it's a good day. You could go back, you could back test, you could learn certain things as well. Be disciplined in your trade, follow your rules, and let's get it for next week. So, guys, I'll see y'all on the next episode of Sunday Signal. Y'all have a good night.